Okay, so the next game we're going to talk about this week is Carcassonne Amazonas, which came out in 2016. It's ages 8 plus, 2 to 5 players, 35 minutes, and this is rated a 7.3 out of 10 on BGG. Now, the overall ranking is ranked 1,439 out of over 15,000 games. So this is not ranked as high as other games. In fact, it would be interesting to compare it to other Carcassonne games. And it's not ranked as any other, like, it's not on the family ranking yet or other subcategories. So,
it's still pretty good, though.
yeah, this is probably our favorite Carcassonne game. And so let's take a look at the pieces.
Okay.
So one thing that's different is that you'll see that there's this river board. And so each player will have a boat here. And so this is only showing a 2-player setup. And you'll see that you have villages. And so when you complete a village, like right here, if you had your meeple on there, it would be worth 2, 4, 6. And there's even bonus fruit that could be on there, which isn't on this example here. So this player would get 6 if they completed that. Now, in terms of rivers, you'll get one, just like roads, you get one for each section, 1, 2, and if this one was placed here, so actually you'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you get 6, 7 for the fruit. And so that player would get 7. In addition, you'd also get to move your boat up 1 space. Now, the reason why this is important is whoever is ahead at different times will get additional points. So if someone plays a river tile here, whoever is ahead will get all 3 fish. So you get 2 piranha, and I forget what fish this is.
I don't remember what it's called. It's just the long fish. I don't remember the name.
I don't remember either, but you would get 3 points. And the person in second place, blue, would get only 2 points for the piranha.
But if you're tied...
If you're tied, you both get 3. Now, in the 2-player game, if the other player is more than 1 space behind, they don't get anything.
Right.
So the red player would get 3 in this example. The blue player would get none. But because they didn't get any points, you'll be able to move up 1 space. Now, there's one other special tile here. When you place this one, you also get to choose amongst these 4 to place. So if the red player placed this tile, they may not want to have a lot of piranha on there in order for the blue player not to benefit. So the red player would get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. The blue player would only get 1.
That's not very nice.
Well, again, that's part of the strategy.
I know.
And so, yeah, when you place a tile, just like in other Carcassonne games, so if you draw a tile from a stack, okay, and then you place it. So let's say this tile is drawn. The red player would have to decide, do I make him a fisherman or put him in the village?
Or move up your boat.
Or instead of placing a meeple, you move up your boat 1 space. Again, you'll get points when these tiles are placed, but also whoever has the boat is furthest along gets the most, gets more points at the end of the game. You get first place and second place, third and fourth, depending on how many players are playing.
Right.
In addition, you could also, instead of moving your boat 1, or placing a meeple, you could instead place a hut. And the reason why I want to place huts is because depending on how tiles develop, at the end of the game, you're going to get bonus points for
the animals.
How many animals are in an area. So in this area here, on this side of the river, the red player would get 1, 2 bonus points for the number of animals. So that's another option, and you cannot, these don't come off. Once you place them down, they're in the game for the entire game. And so you got to be careful where you place them, because if you place them too early, you might not get a lot of animals.
Right.
So meeples do come off when they score, just like in other Carcassonne games, or when the river is scored, it comes off. So let's take a look at our playthrough here. So this is a game already in progress. Julie's blue and I'm red.
My favorite color.
And so right now, I'm ahead on the river by 1 space. And Julie decided not to place a meeple or her hut and move up her boat 1 that last play.
And
so,
yeah.
Go ahead. So Julie just placed a meeple on the river tile she just placed. And I just scored something.
Yeah, you're just smoking around on there.
And that's because I'm ahead on the boat. And because I'm ahead, I'm getting points for the fish.
Right.
So that's the interesting thing about the game is the tension comes in is that you never know when you're going to draw those tiles that extend the river. So you always have to be mindful of how far back or how far ahead you are with your boats.
Mm-hmm.
And so one rule that I didn't go over is that you cannot place tiles behind. You can't place it behind here, so I couldn't go like this if this was a legal move. But you also cannot place tiles ahead of the river as well.
Right.
So you can't go like this if these were legal plays. You always have to be within the confines of the river.
That's true.
So again, you play until all tiles are drawn, and whoever has the most points win. So you have anything to add?
No, I think you covered it pretty well. It's
In fact, you saw the lighting change there because you had to go to an appointment, and we
Oh,
came back
yeah.
and finished the game.
That's right. And I still lost, but I really do enjoy this game. I don't do super well with abstract games, so this can sometimes be very challenging for me to figure out where to put my little tiles down to either get the most points for a river.
See, I just scored that village. I got 2, 4, 6, 8, like 8 to 10 points there. And now Julie just placed down that river token there with the exclamation, and she's deciding which one to do because she's tied right now on the river.
Right.
So we're going to get equal points since
Right.
we're tied. And since she didn't place a meeple, she moved up her boat 1 space. So let's take a look at our ratings for this game,
Alrighty.
or why we liked it.
Why don't you go first this time?
Okay,
All right.
so here again, I'm manipulating since we're recording this live. All right, so it's currently my favorite Carcassonne game out of the 7 different titles we own. Now, someday in the future, we might do a video on all 7 of them.
I didn't know we had that many.
Yeah, and there's a
Wow.
couple that we don't own. So what I like about it is more scoring choices with the rivers and the huts. And this the idea that you could either move your boat or place a meeple is pretty cool. So that's, again, the next thing I like about it is the tension with the river scoring. Always trying to stay ahead of your opponent or keeping up with your opponent. And like I said, I like the hut placement, and I like how the map unfolds. It is really cool how the river is created as you play it. It's a very horizontal game.
And it's never the same. It never is the same each time we play.
No, it is
always is different. Always.
So what do you like about it?
Well, kind of like what you say, like how the areas are formed. I think it's neat to see how they change every time we play it. It's never the same, ever. I do like the artwork. I think that you feel like you're in the jungle. You feel like you could reach out and touch those animals. It's really nice. The wood pieces are great. They're nice, sturdy wood. They're fun to hold and manipulate. I'm into things like that. And like David said, it is competitive. And we usually just play this 2-player. And yeah, it's a struggle for me, but it's
So you did your best game there. You were only like 5 points away from
I think that's the
winning.
best I'd ever done. Yep. And last thing is, as I said before, I'm not really into long games. And this one, I don't mind the game length. We try and make it about 25 minutes, 30 minutes at the most. Anything after that, I'm toast. I've lost all interest and I can't do it. So this one's perfect.
Well, let's take a look at how we rated it.
Okay.
So we rated this separately. We didn't tell each other our rating.
Right.
And so you explain your rating.
I said it's good, and I am willing to play. I usually won't suggest it because it is an abstract game, and I struggle so much with those that I'm not one to want to play things like that all the time. However, if you suggest it, I'm not going to poo-poo the idea. I'll play it, and I do the best I can. And if I win, it's a miracle, and I have a great time. And even if I lose, I have a great time. But that's why I gave it a 7.
So I rated very good because I suggested to play often. We've played it 8 times since our first time we played it in June of 2017. And that's out of all the Carcassonne games, we played this one the most.
Really? I believe it.
And then I even bought a copy for a friend and gave it to him as a gift. There was at
Yeah.
MeepleCon here in Vegas. I was able to get a copy for about $10. Said, hey, this would be a great gift. It was unpunched, and I gave it to a friend in Tucson where we lived most of our life.
And it's a fun game for him and his wife because they're the 2 adults in the family. They have a little baby, but baby can't play yet, so.
Right. But anyway, so that's Carcassonne Amazonas, and now we're going to talk about our next game.
Okay, let's do it.